How's it going, guys? Series here. Today I've decided to farm 50 Trials of Chaos to see how actually profitable they are. With the Trials of Chaos prices being very low, the accessibility of this farm is very easy. You don't need anything to set it up, just a character that can actually do the farm and kill the bosses. In Dawn of the Hunt, the bosses have been nerfed. GGG said that they had double their health, so this should be easier right now than before. And with the newest patch being implemented, the sum of the rewards will be currency. I wanted to track if we get some divine currency out of this. Now if you want a full breakdown of the Trials of Chaos, there's a video on top of the screen. You can click it. I did it last league. As for our main source of income, that will be the soul cores, the soul core of Tikaba being the most expensive today. We'll be dropping a total of 150 soul cores, and then we can do the numbers on which one is the rarest. I will try to include as many numbers as possible, and I also will be separating the raw currency that we drop from killing the monsters from the currency that we actually earn as rewards in the trial. And I almost forgot, of course, we have the fragments that drop from killing the last boss. The bosses will be totally random, and I believe 50 is enough sample size to see which is the rarest boss to spawn at the end, because some of the fragments might be more expensive than the others. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to keep track of. So I'm suspecting a pretty sizable income. The only downside to this farm is that, one, it's very repetitive. You're gonna get bored very easily after a while, and second, it takes a long time to run. Any run can take between 13 to 16 minutes. If you're very experienced and know what to pick, which afflictions to pick very fast, and you have a fast character that deals a lot of damage, you can do this, I would say, in an average of 14 minutes. This is how long it took me, but of course that depends on what challenges you get. You can get the survive challenge 3 times, each time being a minute and 30 seconds, just waiting around and killing stuff. You can get this 3 times in a run. This would be quite unlucky, and sometime you might get really unlucky with the afflictions and choose a bunch that are very time consuming, especially the ones that deal damage over time, like Impending Doom or the pyramids that blow up lasers. There are even the ones that when you kill enemies, some orbs will chase you and might kill you. This is very annoying to take, so you get it. Some afflictions are worse than others, and that might cost you more time in each trial. Now I will leave you with the highlights of some things that I've dropped, and we'll be back later to discuss the loot. Welcome back, guys. Now this farm took me quite some time to complete. If we're only talking about the playtime, it's 12 hours. And if we're talking about the downtime, me being price checking some stuff, identifying some stuff, and waiting around, this took around 2 days to complete. But I would say we've managed to do a pretty sizable income, and this is the loot that we have gathered. Now I have here everything that I've dropped from the monsters, and in these 2 columns I have everything we got as a reward. I have the soul cores right here and the fragments. Now let's talk numbers. I've dropped 3 raw divines and 3 annulments. This is very lucky. I did not expect that at all, and as you know, the annulments and divines have a similar spawn rate, so anytime you spawn one of them, you're either lucky and get a divine, either unlucky and get an annulment. As to my surprise, I did not get a single raw divine as a reward for completing a challenge. So if we're talking pure drops, we've got 26 regals, 87 val orbs, 9 alchemy orbs, 54 exalts, and a big 92 chaos orbs, 7 artificer orbs, 1 orb of chance, 17 lesser jewelers, 8 gem cutters, a few armor scraps, a Greater Jeweler, 3 Annuls, and 3 Divines. Now as for the currency rewards from completing the rooms, we've dropped 65 Regals, 84 Val Orbs, 20 Alchemy Orbs, 19 Chaos Orbs, 76 Exalts, 1 Orb of Chance, and 1 Annulment. Now I suspect this annulment I got pretty unlucky with it. This might be a divine, so I suspect you might get a divine reward in each 50 runs. I don't know, maybe I got unlucky, but I feel that 50 runs is a pretty good sample size. As for the fragments, we're looking at 19 victorious, 15 cowardly, and 16 deadly. So I would say that the bosses have a pretty similar spawn rate at the end. I dropped 1 white stellar amulet and this nice helmet that has good energy shield, very high tier intelligence, and a high tier crit. So this might sell for some. Of course with the resistance this might be worth more, but let's not count that for now. And finally the soul cores. The soul core of Ascapa being the rarest, but not the most expensive. The most expensive of all soul cores is the soul core of Tikaba, which I've dropped 10 of, and with a decent spawn rate I would expect 1 in 5 runs, which is very nice. We've dropped 3 soul cores of Triquani, so its spawn rate I reckon is 1 in 20 runs. And as for the other soul cores, the soul core of Sitequatl and Takati being more expensive out of the others, they have a pretty decent spawn rate. We are looking at 21 of each. Now what I'm going to do is exchange all those for exalts to see how much profit we're looking at. So after exchanging all these soul cores and fragments, we're left with 1710 exalts and 11 divines. Now finally I'm going to merge those two tabs and come out with a final number. So as you can see, this tab is empty. I did not exchange literally everything: the artificer orbs, some gem cutters, the armor scraps, and some of the regals and the vials are not worth much, so I put them on my currency tab. But as for the exalts and chaos and annuls, I've exchanged everything for divines, and we're looking at 31 divines. But if you take into consideration the time that it took to run those farms, about 12 hours, if you divide 31 by 12, you'll get approximately 2.6 divines per hour. But at least this would be consistent. I am pretty sure that if you run this farm, you'll get consistently currency, even if you get some bad luck, as I did. I did not get any divine rewards. You might drop some. If you don't drop some, you might get some as rewards. You never know. But even if we subtract the amount of divines that we randomly dropped, we're still looking at 28 divines, which is not a bad profit for a farm that does not take a lot to set up. You only need an inscribed ultimatum of level 80 and you're good to go. And you can buy those in bulk on TFT. I believe they would cost 1 exalt per key. So for 50 exalts of investment, we made about 33 divines, which is very good. Only downside is you're gonna get bored running those because 1, they're repetitive, 2, they take quite some time to complete. So final question, are Trials of Chaos worth farming? I would say definitely yes. 1, because this is very easy to access. You only need a key, which costs around 1 exalt. and you do not need anything to set it up. No pathing to get towers, no tablets, no waystone rolling, no distilled emotions. You don't even drop a lot of rare loot that you want to identify. Now of course map running and magic finding might be more lucrative, but if you do not want to go to that hassle, you can just farm Trials of Chaos consistently and you will consistently get currency. But you know, this is Path of Exile. There are 100 ways to farm currency. You need to pick your poison. Some take some time to complete, some take more investment. You know how it is. I hope you liked this video. Now this is the second video of a dedicated farm, the first one being strong boxes. I think the third one will be maybe expedition or ritual. I will see. If you have any ideas for farms that you want me to do, leave them in the comment. And if you have any questions, of course, I answer everything. And as always, like if you like, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching.